All right, guys, good morning. Good morning. Welcome aboard to the Morning Note. My name is Carlos Garcia, founder and CEO of G.A.R Capital. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to join me this morning and every morning, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I just had to make sure that the mic was on right over here. So, sometimes it's been off, and I had people say, hey, your mic's not on. Always fun when that happens, because then I have to restart. But good morning anyways. Before we begin, bottom right-hand corner of your screen, a little white logo, click on that. Turn notifications, subscribe to our channel. Make sure to hit a thumbs up, like our videos. Really do appreciate it as always. Let's go ahead and get to the market. Right now, the Dow futures are down 415 points. NASDAQ down about 1.5%. 1.27% of the downside for E-mini futures, 42.21. S&P future, Russell futures down 1.42%. I do have IWM puts as an unusual options activity. We filled that yesterday with our team. That was for Masterclass and Premium members. It didn't look good at the time, but pretty sure we're going to probably get it. We just need a break of 197 to the downside. Crude oil is up about 5% this morning. It was flirting with last night a bear market, 20% off the peak. It did bounce. 104 is right at that 20% bear market for oil. So again, a nice bounce across the board for oil futures. Gasoline futures up 3% this morning, $3.39 a gallon. Gold futures up 0.73%, 2002 an ounce. Silver futures up as well, 26.19 an ounce, 1.47%. Euro dollar Euro just announced a little while ago that they were going to be more hawkish than expected with their latest rate decision, seemingly laying the groundwork for much sooner rate hike in the face of rising inflation. So that's where the ECB came in. Let me give you the exact headline from CNBC. It said, the European Central Bank surprises markets with plan to wind down stimulus sooner than it planned. So that's where you're kind of getting the euro dollar kind of weakening a little bit, down about 16 pips, 116.08 for the dollar yen. That's usually up when you have a risk on environment. So again, kind of when the stock market is up, dollar yen is usually up, but they're up today and the markets are down. Bitcoin futures had an ugly red candle, 1 hour candle, just about an hour ago, at the 8 o'clock hour. Now trading around 38,900, down about 7% this morning. You can see the move of Bitcoin, nice spike, and then just came back down. So again, it kind of tough in this movement, but nothing has really changed. I mean, once you get to 45,000, again, we can start getting excited, but we're not there yet. Ethereum down 4% this morning, 25.76. Taking a look at interest rate yields, 10-year yields, 1.983, up 35 basis points. The dollar index is up about 0.12% at 98.08, and the VIX is up 3.48% at 33.58. Let's go and take a look at Amazon after pre-market, and you can see it's coming down. Again, we talked about that yesterday, that these kind of moves usually don't last. I wouldn't be surprised if Amazon gets down to 28.01. Again, nice decision on Amazon to stick to split their stock, but really what's more important to me is that $15 billion buyback. Amazon really doesn't do that kind of stuff for shareholders. So that's nice to see. Taking a look at E-mini futures, really what's kind of standing out. We'll take a look at some pre-market movers together, and then we'll answer some questions. Again, guys, same deal. Nothing has really changed. 42.52 support, that was broken. We had CPI released today. CPI, U.S. inflation soared 7.9% over the past 12 months. That's the biggest spike since 1982. CPI for February came in as expected. Came in core CPI, this is excluding food and gas, that was up 6.4% year over year, above expectations, 5.9%. But the flash PMI month over month, 0.8 versus 0.8, that's equal year over year, 7.9%. That's the same, met expectations. So that's where we got a small little boost. But until then, you can see that 42.52 level right here. That support is broken. Now you're back into the next level down, which is 42.52 to 41.01. We saw the last support was right around 42.60, 42.70. That seems to be a nice target for some downside. But again, we need to see where the market goes from here. Again, the really big headline that came overnight was that Ukraine and Russia hasn't really done anything in terms of a peace talk. Let me go ahead and read you some of that here. It says, Estonian Prime Minister Kallas speaks with Bloomberg today. This is according to him. Says, Russia has no diplomatic will to resolve Ukraine. Here's another one from the Kremlin as well. It says, Russia's Lavrov says, until the end, we wanted to resolve the situation in Ukraine through diplomatic terms. Ukraine's presidential advisor says we will retake Donbass and Crimea. So we're back and forth here. But here's Russia's Lavrov again. This is direct quote. Property rights have been stamped all over in the West. Says we will endure this crisis. Russia's Lavrov says we will try to never be dependent on the West. So again, they held a press conference after some talks in Turkey, but really nothing has really changed. Again, you're going to get these kind of sell the rips, buy the dips kind of way here on the market. So it really just is technical so far. This is why I haven't bought any real kind of stocks or started to add it to my positions. The only thing I will be adding today is SPY-G, which I buy every week. So let's take a look at some pre-market movers, and we'll get to the Q&A session. Let's take a look here. Anything that stands out? Nothing in the big volume names. Chevron's up 0.86%. Apple's down. Microsoft's down. Boeing's down. Cisco's down. Disney's down. I mean, pretty much right across the board on the Dow, except for Chevron. ExxonMobil's up 1.29%. Occidental's up. Amazon's up 3.82%, which is not really making a big dent in the NASDAQ. CrowdStrike had great earnings. They reported earnings yesterday as well. They're up 11.79%. This morning. Let me see if I can get you the actual report. Let's see here. CrowdStrike, I think I had it here on Twitter. Let's see. JD reported numbers this morning. 35 cents versus the expectation 27 cents. Revenue of 43.3 billion, up 23% year over year, in line with expectations. If we go and bring up JD right now, you can see they are down pre-market. And so is Alibaba as well, the big Chinese ones. So we're going to go and take a look here at CrowdStrike. I know I had that earnings report here. CrowdStrike. Here we go, CrowdStrike. Also some Peloton news as well. Let's go and take a look at Peloton. That didn't show up in the pre-market movers. They're down marginally. Peloton will start testing a new pricing system on Friday in which customers pay a single monthly fee that covers both the bike and the monthly subscription to workout courses. If a customer cancels, Peloton will take back the bike with no charge, according to the Wall Street Journal. And if I can find the CrowdStrike number, here we go. CrowdStrike reported earnings. This was yesterday, 30 cents versus a 20-cent expectation on EPS. Revenue of 431 million, beating expectations of 410 million. That's where we are. Goldman is being pulled out of Russia. So that was just some news that we just saw on Twitter. So a lot of moving parts, as we know, but that's where we are. So E-mini futures, really all you can see, this is recording the SPY, again, 425 to around 415. $10 is all you're going to get. So again, it is a Thursday. We got CPI at least. Let's see what the price action dictates us moving forward. I am short IWM. I do have long gold calls. Let's answer some questions. Good morning. Do you think we'll be green today? I don't see really any reason unless we get some kind of positive headline catalyst or oil goes down where stocks can go up today. That's really the only thing. Remember, yesterday's move up was really just a short squeeze, and at the end of the day, we haven't had a 5-day losing streak in the S&P since the top in January when we hit all-time highs. Keep that in mind. That was pretty big. That's a big stat. So again, we could have a little more downside here, maybe test 41.50, 41.55, possibly chop around, get back to around 42.22. Again, if we break 42.52, that's great, but that big resistance, and I talked about it on Twitter, I talked about it yesterday, 4,300, and it's not broken. So again, you can't be long here. Calls. If you're getting in calls, you're buying the dip, and you're getting out immediately. If you're doing shorts or puts, you're selling the rips like we did yesterday on IWM. What is your price to add Google long? There's really not a price, to be completely honest, because of the fact that we don't know what Ukraine and Russia will escalate there. So again, kind of throw price targets out the window in terms of buying. Really what you're looking for at the end of the day is a resolution. So again, think of it this way. Should I buy Google when we get a resolution in Russia and Ukraine? Yes. An actual peace deal? Yes, then I'll be buying. But if you're looking for a technical level to actually buy stocks, really you're looking for around 4,500 to 4,550. That'll be above the 200-day moving average. It'll be clear above the 38.2 Fibonacci extension. If you're looking at that, maybe 4,500 would be okay. A lot of people would probably say 44.54 above the 200-day. Not yet. I would say the 100-day on the daily would give us a little more clear direction for more upside. I know people want to say, hey, I want to buy cheaper. That's why I'm doing my ETFs every week. No, that hasn't changed, dollar cost average. But individual stocks, I'll wait for the green light when things kind of resolve. So right now, it's really a trader's market. So if you're trading options, you're loving this because this is all volatility. This is what you're looking for. If you're trading futures, this is what you're looking for. But to invest, it's tough. You're going to be back and forth, back and forth. Are you looking to get in Amazon or Google? What are your price targets getting? I'm already in both. I just bought Google this year, and Amazon I've had for a while, so that hasn't really changed. Morning, Carlos. How do you decide what's your stops with options based on the stock or percentage of 40%? I did yesterday 25% on AMD. It really just is technicals right now. Sometimes you have moving averages that provide resistance and support. So having stops, because these headlines come in so quickly, you almost have to kind of in your head kind of see when things will be invalidated. So you can't have just a stop because it can be one big candle down. If you saw yesterday, we saw a huge spike in the VIX, really weird spike right on this candle, right around 1 o'clock, even though the market was up very green, like 800 points on the Dow. So again, if you were like trading VXX or something, you probably would have got stopped out. And of course, it could just take one fat finger. So that's why I'm like, you got to be a little nimble, but you have to have some resolve too on like knowing your position, where you're going to go. Hi, ma'am. Calls. Thanks a lot. Again, really the level you're looking for here is possibly a breakdown of 420, 421, and then you can target 417 for SPY puts. If you break 42.52, which is 425 SPY, then you can start taking a look at 428, possibly 429. Maybe 428 will be a little better. That's really all you're seeing in terms of SPY right now. Good morning, Carlos. What is a good buy price for Bitcoin? I buy Bitcoin every week. That hasn't changed either. I like to have dollar cost average. Really, your next support, if we go and bring up the daily on Bitcoin, again, we know the Russia-Ukraine thing. It's completely just kind of making the world upside down. Below 30,000 seems to be okay. If you get to around 29, that wouldn't be a bad idea either. Or you can just stick with the route of just wait for everything to resolve in Russia-Ukraine, which is a little more prudent. Because Bitcoin is a risk off. It's not risk on trade. It's not a risk off. It's not a hedge to anything. It's moving pretty much correlated with the NASDAQ. That's the best thing you can kind of correlate it with. Thoughts on GLD? I do have GLD calls. I am red, but we are bouncing, which is nice. 186.50. Let's see if we get a little more fear in the market. Maybe the VIX steps up a little bit. We start breaking below 4,200 on S&P. Gold will probably go higher, maybe break 190 today. Again, possibly with a downside move. But again, CPI came in at expectations, wasn't terrible. We kind of met expectations. Let's see where the headlines come from with Eastern Europe. Let's see where oil comes in today. That's really going to tell us a lot. What levels do I have for VIX? Let's see. In terms of the VIX, oops, imagine gold VIX. That'd be crazy. Really, the level you're looking for is 3770. 3770, 3779. That's your resistance here just in the past 20 days. If you bring up the daily on VIX, let me go ahead and bring that up. That's pretty much the highs you're going to get on the daily. So again, 3770 would probably be max fear, maybe 40, where you see everything starting to move. But again, right now, we're pretty much just kind of staying in line with the upward trend near the 200-day on the VIX. And the VIX is not a tradable security, it's just an index. So kind of keep that in mind. You could trade VXX, sure. I don't like it as much. I like GLD or crude as more of a hedge, again, as things get, things get a little crazy or things change in Eastern Europe. Why did oil drop 12% yesterday? Short covering. Again, a lot of people were closing their longs out. This is pretty much a technical idea. I mean, you get a 20% move in a commodity in 2 days, 3 days. That's not sustainable, guys. Just like the Amazon move being 8% in a day. This is a mega cap stock that doesn't last very long. That's why I said, if you had Amazon, you want to go ahead and raise some cash, you sell that rip. You're selling into strength and you're buying into weakness is usually the case for stock traders, which if you want to be successful, how to do it. What puts would you play today? Well, I have IWM. I need a break of 197. But right now, looking at puts, SPY is interesting. QQQ is interesting. All the big winners yesterday, the AMDs, NVIDIA's would be nice. Apple would be nice. A break of 107.63 on AMD would be nice. Maybe we can get a little more downside action, possibly target 105. Why not? So again, everything that you saw green yesterday that was what was tech or high yield, high betas, they're going to be worth a shot to short if we get some continuation here. For all we know, we can get chopped up and stay around 42.52, and you're just going to go crazy because you're going to be so pissed because all we're doing is staying in the zone, which happens. Was CPI's results good or bad for the market? It was meeting expectations. We know inflation's already high. We don't need that report to tell us otherwise. Really, was it a market mover? It came down to maybe 5-10 handles on the S&P. Wasn't really much of a mover. The big stuff was the Ukraine-Russia, that they can't get a deal with peace, and they had a meeting in Turkey. That was really what changed it. That's where we are in terms of the market. What are you watching today? Really, I'm watching IWM. I'm watching AMD. I just put an alert at 107.64. I may want to go ahead and short it down to this gap fill right here at 105.67. I think that's a great shot to possibly fill those gaps. There's a lot of gaps that gapped up yesterday. Those gaps can fill. Let's see if we can take advantage. Again, these are advantages. These are arbitrage opportunities where, when they come down, you sell. When they come up, you ride the momentum up, and you can make money both ways with options. If you're an investor today, you're pretty much handcuffed. But if you're an options trader, the past couple of weeks, you've seen nothing but opportunity. The problem is that it's just coming so quickly. So you have to be really, really on point and make sure your levels are exactly where they need to be so you can profit. And again, it's not perfect. It's not 100% obviously, but you're doing the best you can to get some opportunities out there, and we have absolutely. Thoughts on where we go with oil. I think Venezuela and others increase in oil prices. I think we're going to get a lot more supply coming in. Do I say we have a top in crude? I would say yes if we did not have the issue with Ukraine and Russia. Again, I don't know. I'm no geopolitical expert. I'm no Eastern European political relations expert. I don't know that. So again, I can't give you that information. Just saying, oh, I know what's going to happen. Again, to me, it looks like we hit a top on crude. But all that can change. All that can change with any kind of political change in Russia and Ukraine, or battles or anything like that. Who knows? So again, that kind of move in crude is not sustainable. Look back in 2008, 2014, they all reverted to the mean. So again, I'm still with that contention that we're nearing the top on crude. Now when everyone is interested, when you get the media all about it, they're usually pretty late to the party. And you can see if we max it out here, again, we've had spikes and we've had dips. Remember, we went negative on crude. And we've had spikes before, and more likely we'll come back down. Once we break down below 104, we'll probably chill around 90 to 100 for a little bit, as demand will diminish, as a lot of people are looking at gas prices and saying, hey, I'm probably not going to drive as much now because I'm already hitting that psychological number of $4 a gallon or whatever dollars a gallon to keep people off the road. All right, so that's where we are. Have a great rest of your morning. Thank you so much for joining me. There was a nice comment here from Ely. Good morning, Carlos. Thanks for keeping up with top of things. As always, we're here to help. I'm glad to do this for you guys every morning and afternoon. Please hit that like button if you love these videos. Again, we're here to prep you for your day, explain things in context of why things happen the way they happen. So again, appreciate you guys for following me as always. G.A.R Capital FX.com is our website. If you want to join our masterclass, we went ahead and switched it up. Masterclass now has more options. Instead of a inflation-based price raise, we changed it so we have more options for those who kind of want to be in Masterclass but don't want to plunk down $5,000. That's completely understandable. We have silver packages and we have gold packages. Kind of think of it as a preview for those who kind of want to learn the intricacies of macro, futures, and options trading on how we do things. Again, and then most students, what they do is they'll take our information and they'll make it their own and trade their own way, which is totally cool. So if you're interested in that, let me show you the site. If I can bring it up here. Of course, I don't type fast enough. Again, this is new as well. We had it before, but we went ahead and switched it up because more people were just signing up for platinum, and that was okay. I mean, everyone is different. But as costs go up and prices have gone up, we're not increasing our prices. As a CEO, I can tell you that we're not increasing our prices anytime soon. So what we did was we just basically opened it up to everybody. We gave it up for a gold package for those who are interested. Again, maybe 5,000 is a lot. I completely understand. There is payment plans as well. But again, you have the silver package. Go ahead up Kevin on Instagram, Kev, K-E-V, G.A.R Capital. That's on Instagram. You can email us at garcapital@gmail.com. If you have any questions regarding our masterclass, here's the link. Feel free to take a look at it. Different plans to fit any budget for those who are interested in kind of taking advantages of these moves of this market. But back to it. I'm going to go and have breakfast. Have a great rest of your morning. We'll catch you guys later. Cheers. And it signals for life for platinum. Excuse me. For gold, you'll get it for, I believe, 6 months, and for silver, you get 3 months. The good news, guys, let's say if you get silver, you can always upgrade to gold, and if you're gold, you can always upgrade to platinum. We're very flexible. We're here to help you out. Again, what I wanted to do is that, obviously, with inflation and things changing, guys, I understand. You still want to learn and stuff, but you don't want to put down $5,000 as an investment. I totally get it. That's why we opened it up for everyone else. Again, very small, but just start, $1,000 silver. I get that. Maybe you want to trade, you want to learn a little bit. Maybe you want a crash course. Again, feel free to let us know. GARcapital@gmail.com or Kevin, K-E-V, G.A.R Capital. That's on Instagram. If you have any questions or any bots that are trying to hit you up that are like, maybe that doesn't sound like us, guys, at G.A.R Capital on Instagram, G.A.R Capital. Again, we know who we are. Make sure to hit us up before anyone does and says they all, offering you this. Make sure it's us. There's a lot of scammers out there, and you got to be very careful. So you know who we are. We'll let you know what's up. And as always, have a great rest of your day. We'll catch you guys later. Cheers.